Okay, so I'm making this video because I keep on seeing all these tweets and videos about how Illia Topuria destroys Islam Makhachev, and I really need to clear this up. You guys are being so delusional, and obviously it's a fight. Anything can happen. Maybe Illia can knock him out. Maybe Islam can slip like he did in the Renato Moicano fight, or whatever. But I'm talking about how you guys saying Illia is Islam kryptonite or something when he has fought way better opponents than Topuria, and I just think that's so crazy to say. All right, now we're going to look at the resume and the record of Islam Makhachev first. He is 28 and 1, 16 fight winning streak. He's the pound for pound number one. He's beaten everyone at what they're best at. He outboxed Dustin and subbed him in the fifth while he was up 39-37. He outstruck and outgrappled Volk 49-46 while he was dehydrated. And then in the rematch, when he wasn't dehydrated, he knocked out Volk in 2 minutes. Both of these were in Volk's prime, and you can argue that the only reason Topuria won the fight against Volk was because 2 months earlier he got flatlined by Islam. Islam also outgrappled and embarrassed Charles Oliveira in the first round just to sub him in the second. He also ended Charles's prime. He outgrappled Arman Sarukian, and to be fair, this was at the beginning of Arman's career, and he has gotten a lot better now. He knocked out Tebow in one round when Tebow raped Khabib in their fight. I mean, these were years apart, so I guess you can make an argument for that, but I just thought it was a nice thing to add on. He then moved up a division, put everything on the line. He already lost his lightweight belt because he moved up, and there was a title fight before he got his welterweight belt. And in that welterweight fight, when he was going for double champ, he outboxed and he outstruck the best boxer in the UFC. Yes, JDM is better than Topuria. He took him down 4 out of 4 times when JDM had some of the best takedown defense. Plus, Islam dominated JDM in every aspect of the fight to win 50-45 and arguably 50-44. Since Illia Topuria doesn't have as many fights as Islam or as many good fights as Islam, we're gonna go over why he is overrated and why he won't be able to win against Islam. While Topuria is a top 3 boxer in the UFC, besides Peter Yan and JDM, his win streak is heavily overrated. His flaws are mainly his grappling, which many people seem to say is elite and even better than Islam's, but that's just simply not true. Not only was he taken down and controlled on the ground by Bryce Mitchell, of all people, they were going even on total strikes too, and that's showing Ilya Topuria can't fight well against southpaw fighters, and this is going to be really important later. While Charles did fail to take Topuria down, it can be factored down to the fact that Ilya Topuria is really short, and short people are harder to take down because they're more compressed. This may sound really stupid, but I promise it's true. Topuria and Charles both fell over, and Topuria landed on top of him. He passed his guard, which is really impressive, and he attempted a crucifix, but failed almost instantly. While this does show good mentality on the ground, it doesn't show any major skill set compared to Islam's elite, like actually elite grappling. Ilya's legendary in quotations, by the way, as his legendary 3-fight win streak is not as impressive as people think. Like Max Holloway said, Volk was coming off of a knockout loss 2 to 3 months earlier by Islam. Then his fight with Max fought up a weight class, and then he dropped 10 pounds, and that messed up his cardio. It messed up his chin. He wasn't used to featherweight after fighting at lightweight. And that was after being inactive for a long time. The next argument about Islam being scared of Topuria is that he ducked and pulled out of the White House fight for being injured, when it was confirmed by both fighters' managers that Ilya refused to fight because of money, when he accepted a fight with Justin Gaethje for the exact same amount he was offered for Islam. Ilya then went on Twitter and LARPed about Islam pulling out for being injured, when it was just Dana White making that up to avoid looking bad for not paying his fighters how much money they asked for. I do think Illia needs to defend his belt at least 2 to 3 times before moving up, whether that's in a fight with Armin or Gaethje, Charles, even after Charles beat Max in a really dominant performance, before he's even able to talk about moving up for a third belt. Out of everything I've said in this video, Topuria is still obviously an elite fighter, and he's still the second best fighter in the world, which is really impressive. And I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything bad about Topuria. I'm not calling him a terrible fighter. I'm just saying there are different levels between him and Islam, and I don't think he's ready for a fight like that yet, especially while he's not even in his prime.